Okay, yeah. I just want to go through this story. This was an interview between Kachiku. Kachiku used to be the presidential candidate for ADC. That was in 2023. Now he is everywhere trying to implicate the coalition ADC, and it started with Shale, and he made some startling revelation. I'm gonna let you listen to it, and then I'm gonna react. Let's go.
Action under the ADC. Well, ADC, you will know that Atiku Abubakar, David Mark, Adeboye Amechi, and the rest have taken over. At a press conference today in Abuja, Mr. Kachiku said his aspiration is premised on the fact that he's eligible to contest for the presidential seat to contribute to the socio-economic and political development of the country. Mr. Kachiku is opposing to the ADC coalition formed by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He argued that he is against those who want to hijack the party through the back door because he does not want a free and they don't want a free and fair election. Mr. Adeboye Kachiku is here with us tonight. Thank you so much, Mr. Kachiku.
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Kachiku, the last time I thought you were here, you said you were going to fight on. And one would think that in all of the furore about the ADC and your grievances, one would think that maybe you have simmered a bit and your anger may have flown away. But it does look like you're still very angry. Does it look like you have seen that you have totally lost the game?
Absolutely, absolutely. Question. No. Essentially, I was quiet in the media for the last 10 days because I took ill, and that's why when they had their neck and made all the noise in the media, I didn't respond. But no, absolutely not. It's an ongoing conversation. We are in court. The court has gone on break, and when they come back, we'll continue the litigation.
Apparently, this guy has gone to court. This guy has gone to court to tell the individuals in charge that they are not the rightful stakeholder of the ADC. And he's alleging a lot of stuff, and he's going to get to that in this interview.
But absolutely out of the question. You understand that you are facing the law courts, and you're also dealing with the court of public opinion, and that's what they are doing is essentially claiming ownership of ADC in media. And that's why it's important for us to always come to the same media to ensure that people know the actual truth, that ADC is not in their control.
Mr. Kachiku, you call the ADC takeover by figures aligned with Atiku Abubakar a fraud backdoor hijack. That's how you said.
Wow.
Arguing that these individuals entered without due process and are entrenched in expired mandates. How does your camp plan to legally or politically reclaim control of the party's leadership and restore democratic order?
Essentially, what we did today was put in the public domain the fact that INEC's mission of Nwosu ab initio was based on a false premise. They obtained a fraudulent court judgment in the Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt, forging the signatures of some of the state chairmen.
What? Forged? What? How? I don't know how that is even possible in the first place. How would you bring a party, an existing party, okay, and then take signatures that are not yours, and you cannot put it together and say, oh, fine, these guys have agreed. And if that is true, that most of the signatures were forged, then there's a big problem. There is a very, very big problem.
Entered into a consent judgment that proclaimed Nwosu as the chairman. And INEC touts that and says, oh, but there's this consent judgment from the Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt, and there's this arbitration also based on that consent judgment. That's why I came today to let Nigerians know this situation, that consent judgment was fraudulently procured. That is,
and this was taken before the court.
Before the court.
So let's get it clear.
Yeah.
So you claiming now that there are state chairmen of the party whose signatures were obtained And you're saying that those were fraudulently obtained.
Correct, yes.
And that's criminal, are you aware?
Absolutely criminal.
And these allegations you are making
are
against this kind of persons.
I am telling you that.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
It's actually unbelievable the extent they went. So in order to use the ADC, I told you when they approached me, they needed to clear all the legal encumbrances within the ADC. And my people were in court then, which is why they approached me to remove the litigation in court. And I said, absolutely not. So what they did, they went behind me to approach some of the state chairmen to say, take this sum of money and withdraw your cases. Some did, but those said they...
But what I don't understand is, how would you go ahead to form a political party without even taking the ex-president, the guy that was in charge in just the last concluded elections? How wouldn't you have consulted him and carried him along? We're using your political party, this vehicle called ADC. We're going to use this as our launch to defeat Tinubu. Number one, looking at the timing, it's even already late. Like, election is in 2027. You're coming into a so-called new vehicle because the argument was that, oh, LP was already kind of tainted. PDP was already tainted, as in the hand of Wike, right? SDP is a no-no. I mean, El Rufai went to SDP at some point. Now you're going to ADC, and you don't even have the whole party in support of this movement or this coalition, so-called.
We're not going to withdraw their cases. You know what they did? They forged their signatures.
Bro.
And then when
you have evidence to this?
Absolutely.
What?
And that's what is the evidence I'm presenting here before all Nigerians. So they went to court, forged their signatures, and said these people have entered into a consent, into an agreement to forge their case, and that they now hereby recognize Ralph Mosu as the chairman of the party, and forged the signature of the chairman of Benue State, forged the signature of the chairman from Borno State, and signature of some other people. So what I have done today is present to the whole world. This is the judgment. These are the signatures. These are the international passports of these gentlemen. Please check the signature specimens and see what you have before you.
Have you presented that to the court?
I have presented that. We've done a petition now to the authorities, law enforcement authorities, for them to investigate our claims so that Nigeria...
So there are two things here for those listening. Okay, one, there's the allegation of fraud. That one, you don't even need to go to the court, because if you go in to sign on behalf of someone else without their consent, that's forgery. That's forgery. So that's one, right? And then there's the second case. The second case has to do with the litigation about the authenticity of even the ADC formation, those guys that are now in charge. That's another one. Okay, so
Nigerians can see what these men who say they want to rescue Nigeria, if anybody tries to rescue Nigeria on an illegality, tells you who these people really are. I also have here the state chairman in question, who have their international passports here.
I imagine that you are alone, so you are saying that you are not alone.
I have them here, actually, here within the studio. I have
wow.
them.
If you can come, I see that some of them are...
So you can see what they did. You know, they've been claiming to Nigerians. You saw when they had their neck, they brought people and said these people are state chairmen. Those people are not state chairmen. So you see the state chair, you can go to INEC portal in Benue State. This is Elias Sadiku, who is the state chairman in Benue State, for example. This is the state chairman from Borno State.
This guy is ready. Like, he actually brought them live to the studio for them to present their evidence. So it wasn't really playing around, and he wasn't joking when he said that, hey, this guy actually defrauded the party stakeholders by forging signatures. He actually brought them to Channels TV. It's crazy.
The state chairman Nasarawa, this is the acting chairman from Akwa Ibom, right? And look at the signatures there. He's brought his international passport, so you can cross-check the signatures.
So let me ask you, gentlemen, are you aware that the party was going to hand over to the Atiku-led opposition coalition.
Have you heard the news? There are new ways to buy, create, and measure your ad campaigns on Spotify.
No, I was not aware.
Did anybody have this discussion with you?
I was not briefed. We were not briefed.
We understand there were meetings, and that all the structures of the party have been handed over to the David Mark and Aregbesola-led ADC.
If I was in agreement, I would have been in a meeting. They did that, the unveiling, on the 3rd of July, because I know that what they have done is fraudulent. You can see everything they have done about me, Honorable Elias Adiku, is fake.
Okay.
Look at my passport, look at the name here, and look at the name here. Everything is forged. And see the signature, see my signature here. Does it correspond?
Are you aware of who did this?
No. It's brought by the party. I assume that it's the party who has done it. And it's just about how many days ago I've seen it.
This is the signature as presented to the court.
Yes.
Your name is on number 7.
Yeah, you can see.
And this is your signature on
my name are forged.
Okay, your name is Adiku.
It's not
Abu
Adiku.
Elias.
That is
So
not Adiku.
Look
at Adiku here.
Oh, so that means it's not you then.
It's for the world to know. But they said he's chairman of Benway, which is not true.
But why are you people not wanting to work together to change Nigeria? Because they say they want to change Nigeria.
Which one? How are you changing Nigeria based on a very frivolous charade, right? How do you even cross? How do you explain it to people that your first action in this new coalition is for you to go into some form of illegality and criminality? Truly, possibly, they still remain the structure of criminality, as Peter Obi called them.
But
Nigeria want to change Nigeria. What are talking about?
We want to change Nigeria, but it's not with this crop of people who came with not being a member of the party. As I'm talking to you, they are still not member of the party, because the constitution is very clear. If you want to become a member of a party, you go to your grassroots. That is the world level.
Are you also you feel the same way?
Yeah.
What said you are from Borno, right?
No, I'm from Nasarawa.
Nasarawa.
State, yes.
So is your case the same?
Same, but my signature wasn't there.
They omitted your signature.
No, I'm not part. It's not part.
Okay,
It's just Borno.
But are you saying that you are not privy to, or you don't align with the David Mark leadership?
Never.
Did Mr. Nwosu did he meet the state chairman at all point?
No, not at all. You see, when we came from Abeokuta 2022, because we went for Abeokuta to select our presidential candidate, that was on the 8th of June. Then Dumobi Kachiku happened to be one of those presidential candidates. So it was at that point, after that, we were thinking, after the primaries, Mr. Ralph Nwosu will organize a convention to bring in new leadership. So he didn't do that, but we tried to question him because there's a danger in it. If you don't change the leadership, even if Dumobi Kachiku happened to be the presidential candidate taken to court, under litigation, under that, there's possibility that he will lose out. So we're advising on that capacity, on that ground. He refused to listen to us.
Well, look at that. You know, when I first saw this stuff, and it's been a while, I didn't even really know about this Nwosu guy. I kept on asking, who is this dude? Who is this dude? The guy literally sold the party. Like, he just sold the party, cashed out. Because when you're looking at all of this, you see, this is Tambuwal. All of these guys, these are not default ADC guys. Okay? Oyegun. This is Oyegun. But this is Tambuwal, this is Obi, this is David Mark, this is Atiku. So these are just more like hijackers. They just came in, took over the structure. And then I saw this guy in the middle was like the only one different. Look at all of them. Look at even the way they are dressed. This guy is just showing himself as a businessman that just closed a deal. I mean, it's crazy.
After we returned, we had our meeting in the party secretariat where he chased the chairman all away. And
What?
Yeah, because
What?
that is the beginning
So he
of
chased all of you.
all of us, because he brought in some people. 19 of us. He suspended us there and then. So from there, when we went to court, Justice Binta Enyako, she gave us the judgment that, of course, Ralph Nwosu is no longer the term because his tenure has expired.
That's what we're telling
As a
you.
lapse.
Give
So
them the
he
How on earth will Atiku and his guys not be aware? I mean, this is a guy that has been running for presidency for God knows when. How are they not aware that this is going to be a sure case? This is going to be a major impediment in their whole stuff. How is he not fully aware? I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I don't know, because it's a major disaster.
refused.
Which is not
He
provided.
refused to abide by the law, the
Alright.
judgment. Then he went to
So you
Kaduna
are from-
Zaria,
Yeah, you are from Nasarawa,
Nasarawa State.
and you don't you're
He's the state chairman
I'm
of
the
Nasarawa.
state chairman Nasarawa. You're also
Akwa
state
Ibom.
chairman,
Yeah,
state
I'm
chairman,
acting chairman Akwa Ibom State.
Akwa
Akwa
Ibom,
Ibom
okay.
State.
Yes,
And you are also not aware of
I'm
this.
not aware of it.
Is your
No.
signature
No,
here?
it's not there.
It's not there.
It's not
So
there.
you are lucky.
Not only lucky, we are still in the same vision. Because you know, even if I want to draw the Nigeria to the latest information, you know, I think on the 3rd of July, Nwosu said he's no more the national chairman. But on the 29th of July, he signed this letter, this very document, to INEC as the national chairman.
Wow.
So you can see the level of illegality.
You guys have been, your structures have been dismantled. That's what we understand.
No.
At the national level.
No.
Do you
It's been
still,
hijacked.
do you still control your party?
But I'd rather use the word hijack, not dismantle, because if you said dismantle, that means they have the legal right to just, take off that structure. But I would say it's been hijacked. And the reason why they're going to court is to legitimize their own structure. So now you've got factions. The same thing. I mean, when you do the same thing over and over and over again, and you're expecting a different result, that's insanity. I mean, LP, you should have learned from LP. You could have learned from SDP. Now, I learned that SDP already banned RFI. And the ban was that he made some forgery and all of those. I'm still going to go into that case and review it. This same RFI was the same guy I know would have agreed and, okay, fine. Oh, this is approved. We can use the ADC. Because that was his excuse that, the ruling party would always go to all these newer party and smaller party to cause a bigger problem. And what RFI said was that, okay, fine. ADC is free from all of those encumbrances. That was what he said. Now, we're getting to know that ADC's case might even be worse than SDP, LP, and the likes, and even PDP.
At your
State
state
chairman
level.
of
Yes.
various states.
We're still
By the
chairman.
constitution, we are going on the 12th of May 2026. That is the aspiration.
You are the state chairman from Borno.
Yes,
Borno, is your mandate still standing?
of course.
Well, I mean, is your name here?
My name is here, yes.
Okay.
Kala.
Yes.
Oh, your name is on the number what? Number what is it now? Is your signature
Number 4.
Number 4? Malam Muhammad Khalid.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that how your name is spelled?
No, it's not to be Khalid. It's supposed to be Kala.
Kala.
Yes.
But so that's not you. So what are you
also.
doing if you feel that your signatures have been forged and things are not going? You are just 4. I don't know if it's only 4 of you.
More.
You are more of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose signatures were forged?
Yes.
So what are you going to do right now?
This before, like I said, our lawyers are taking a petition before the police and the DSS.
Yeah.
We want to see what they will do. Obviously, you understand that the government of the day benefits from
course.
the crisis within our party.
Of course.
So that is why I'm putting it in the poor view of Nigerians to understand that this crime has happened. We petition the police and the DSS, and we want to see what they will do seeing that a forged signature was used to procure a judgment in the High Court of Appeal in Rivers State. It's
wait. A forged signature used to procure a judgment. So it's not just forgery. Forgery is one. But again, if you had actually presented it to the court and you know that this was a forged signature, and you go to the court, because when you get to the court, you're going to do like this. Okay, I certify that all of this is true. And if you knew that it was forged and you went ahead to present that, that's perjury. These are real criminal cases. Wow.
Crime. So we want to see what they will do. I'm also calling on the IGP to ensure that Ralph Mosu doesn't flee the country, saying that this information is out in the public now.
All right.
It's a serious crime. What they've done.
Gentlemen, you can please thank you so much for I need.
Because I trust you, I believe that you are prepared.
You can also. Why don't you leave the international passport for him also?
It's attached here. Okay, great. For a moment, one will imagine that whatever that is going on, and you said these four are not just the only ones. There are more of the state leaders
whose signatures were forged to procure these judgments.
Now, what do you seek to gain from this? You know, because these people that are coming to your party say they want to reform Nigeria. What is going on in the country is not going well. But can you give them a chance to use your platform to fix Nigeria?
So she is saying that when I aspire to the office of President of Nigeria, that I myself don't want to reform Nigeria, or that I don't have the talent to reform Nigeria. Last time I was here, I said, when you have a situation when people have set a building on fire, are those the same people who you want to put out the fire?
So
that's our situation. All the people you've mentioned, look at that picture of those people who were there on that platform.
Structure of criminality, right?
Former vice presidents, governors, former ministers, former senate president, former House of Representatives members, former senators, former this, former that, former this, former that. And yet,
those responsible for putting Nigeria in the current state that it is at the moment. Okay? Those are the ones responsible for making Nigeria this bad. It's crazy.
See the situation in our country today. Yeah. And then you expect that these same men have had a Pauline conversion and that they now want to retrace their steps and do the right thing for Nigeria. Can we risk this?
We'll be right back after this break, everyone.
Wow. Should I switch to Monday CRM?
Crazy.
Updating this field is so confusing. This CRM sucks.
Thank you so much. Moments on the program now with Mr. Dumebi Kachiko. Mr. Dumebi Kachiko, you heard a lot of Nigerians just have their minds on how to rescue this country. And that's why the sojourn of some of the articles of this world to your platform, ADC, but you are rejecting them now.
Sheon, let me address very squarely what former Governor Sule Lamido said. It reeks of hypocrisy. It is injustice, inequitable. It is the height of the injustice we've seen displayed in Nigeria from time immemorial. When President Jonathan was in office, we saw this hullabaloo about his non-performance, that he was a wimp, that he had nothing to offer, that governance had completely failed. They rallied Nigerians and bullied that man out of office.
Again, let me talk about Goodluck Jonathan. When Obasanjo left, of course, this guy got into the fray. What's it called again? Yaradua. And Yaradua was sick. Yaradua was not doing well. So apparently Jonathan took it. Jonathan single-handedly destroyed almost everything from security. It was during Jonathan's time we started having all these 20 different kind of exchange rates. Alison Madueke, if you still remember that name, she's in exile right now, technically. Her corruption was so bad that she had to leave the country. And this was not even political persecution. It was serious corruption. And you had so many things happen. Remember, it was during Jonathan's time that, what's it called again? What's the name of this guy? Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the CBN governor, was pursued because he said that there was $20 billion that was missing in the coffers of the country that couldn't be accounted for. Those were just some of the things that made Jonathan not to be worthy. I don't understand how, in anybody's mind, if you're functioning correctly, you would say, good luck, Jonathan is the next person that should come and finish the 1 year time. The guy was just more like a lame dog. He didn't even know what he was doing as a president. Yeah, there were people that came against him. There were a lot of forces working against him. Understand? That's politics. That's politics. And if you think that you don't have those sets, also directly or indirectly working against the current president, then you're out of your mind.
Only to bring in a northern president, the late President Buhari, the worst president we've had in the history of Nigeria, failed this country, took us back over 40 years. Tell you what, please tell me of any politician from the north of note who said what former Governor Sulemde is saying now about this president. Not one of them. Only former Governor Wike.
I'm going to be reacting to, because I'll try to look for that video because I just don't believe someone would come out to say.
Was speaking, challenging, and I myself, as just a nominal civilian, challenging that government on their failure. None of them said anything. The same playbook is back again. President Tinubu, 2 years in office, has failed because they cannot stomach having a southern president stay for more than 4 years. They've assigned to us each time 4 years. That's what the northern elites have done. Tell you
again. Let me just add to that. Because either you like him or hate him, Obasanjo, he had a lot of issues also in his own presidency. There were a lot of things that I expected him to have actually done. All these currency reforms, petroleum reforms, electricity stuff that we're actually facing now should have been done 1999 to 2003 during Obasanjo's time. But you know that even Obasanjo in his first term was actually met with this same opposition because they were telling Obasanjo that you're going to use 4 years. Now, I wouldn't like the way, Obasanjo conducted himself with respect to elections and all of those other stuff. Because Obasanjo started corrupting the legislature at the time. So it was obvious. Because they said, Obasanjo was meant to do 4 years. Maybe he should have even done 4 years. Because his second term was just abysmal. When Goodluck Jonathan came again, it was the same story. 4 years. Now, just Tinubu getting in, it wasn't even up to a year. Like it was crazy. It wasn't even up to a year. They were like, oh, okay, it's fine. This is the time for this guy to go. And it was just in 1 year. You had El Rufai already making moves, trying to connect all these other people, to just leave Tinubu and just hang him dry. The same script, the same thing. So they want you, when you get in there, you have to actually, kowtow to the north, else they're going to destroy your president, invariably.
Something again. The situation in North, I grew up in Kano. For over 40, 50 years, we watched a situation where we've had a lot of northern head of state, northern presidents, and the situation in North has not changed. No education,
100%.
No thriving economy, absolutely nothing. Because what do they do? They weaponize the lack of education and the poverty, so that each time they use it for political purposes. And so every day they're telling them, because of your poverty, it's President Tinubu. because of your poverty is that we have a southern president. It's not even about presenting, it's about those of us in the south. Obi is not acceptable. Nobody in the south is acceptable. So now what are they doing? Let me tell you the playbook today. Field President Jonathan, field Obi, we support you, support you. So that in the south we have a lot of candidates.
Wow,
and then they'll field.
wow. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So you've got Obi for LP. There's ADC now, right? And then Obi could either defect to PDP because I learned that he's now talking to them. They want him to come to PDP because they believe that most of the PDP governors, even if they are not, in the ADC, they will still want to work for Tinubu. So let's give them Obi. Let them work for Obi. Let them break Obi's Tinubu's hold in the south. So that then Atiku does not want to field Obi even as the VP. And forget about Obi being the front runner of ADC. It's going nowhere. So now they want to destroy the block, the vote block for Tinubu, so that Atiku can then, just move into power.
And Atiku. If these men, these few northern elites are honorable, I challenge them today to say, just like we did in the south when former President Buhari had failed, that we will field a northern candidate because it's the turn of the north, and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was fielded. I challenge them today to say, guess what, guys? In our so-called power rotation agreement, it's none of the South. We are not happy with President Tinubu. We will let Southerners field or will support a Southern candidate. I bet you, I stake my last dime on this. They will never agree to this. The plan is that they will field a strong northern candidate and have a plethora of southern candidates in the field, so that come 2027, they'll take over power again.
All right.
And again, let's just think about it. Since 1999 up until date, go write it somewhere, there have always been a northern president running. Always. On our ballots. A northern president. When it was the time for, and I'm talking about notable, I'm not talking about Showore and all those stuff. I'm talking about notable, right? I'm just talking about PDP, APC, ACN. There's always been, since 1999 up until date, there's always been a northern president. So even when you said it was the turn of the South with Tinubu, we also still had a northern president. And when Tinubu said it was my turn, it wasn't even talking about it was my turn as a southern president. That was a party's construct. They were just having their own primaries. So within the party's arrangement, that was what it was trying to imply. It was a different ballgame entirely. And
taking over power, I want to say this. Look at the state of the North today after 8 years of the late President Buhari.
All right.
Look at the poverty. Right. Look at the dilapitation. Yeah. We need to tell ourselves the truth. And Southerners keep on making this mistake. We are always politically correct.
We're totally out of time, Mr. Kachiko. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Adeboye Kachiko.
Yeah,
for coming
I mean, that's it. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So this is the cases, right?
In the last presidential elections, I campaigned for meritocracy, insisting that we should leave region.
Let's stop this. We're gonna listen to that, but before we go to that one, let me just show you this highlights of the current ADC case in court, Nigerian coalition. Let's see. So ADC is embroiled in the legal battle in Nigeria over its interim leadership, which is central to a coalition aiming to challenge Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These are the highlights. Number one, there's a lawsuit detail. Number 3 ADC members, okay, they filed a lawsuit. So this is even different. Challenging the appointment of interim leader. This guy, Rahul Farebeshola, and this guy, Bolaji Abdullahi. The plaintiff argued that this appointment violates ADC constitution and were made at an illegally convened meeting, claiming that Chairman Ralph Unwosu, lacked authority to facilitate the transition. They seek to nullify the appointment and prevent INEC from recognizing the new leadership. That's the first case. Now, look at this. 97 lawyers. So already, already, like the party is just being birthed, the coalition, and you already have a case and you already have 97 lawyers. So look at the cash drain that is coming now. Look at the distraction. So there's no more focus. I thought by now, what the opposition should be doing is, how do we get Tinubu out of power? No, then that's not what they're doing. They're doing what? How do we settle our internal fraction and internal crisis? They're alleging that APC, the usual bogeyman. Usual bogeyman, APC. APC is using what? Non-members, okay, to destabilize the coalition. The party claims the plaintiff name do not appear in his membership record in Kogi or Nasarawa State, labeling the suit as a fake. So now they're saying APC. So this is how it works. Once you don't get your internal politics right, every other party, every other powerful party will always come in. They will just go in and destroy whatever is left. So I don't blame APC. I mean, if APC goes in there and then like buy over all these disgruntled individuals, that's part of the game. Sorry. Because before you go ahead to form this so-called coalition, you should have done your own work. You should have known where are the necessary weak points in all of this, and how do we correct that? Internal party tension. This case has deepened division within the ADC. Some state chapters. So we had Akwa Ibom, we had all this there. They've criticized the leadership transition as undemocratic and an hostile takeover. It was an hijack. It was a real hijack that happened. Okay, so don't deceive yourself. Now, former ADC presidential candidate Dumebi Kachuku, that's the guy that we just listened to, alleges a takeover. It's an hijack by outsiders, Atiku. Of course, Peter Obi has vowed to challenge illegally. Now, Peter Obi, I'm not so sure, because Peter Obi was not really out of the vehicle, I would say, that form. Yeah, it was in meetings, but you could see that it doesn't really have the sway. It doesn't really have a big controlling stake in ADC. And that's why he's been able to pause and say, oh, this is crazy, right? This is really crazy. I don't even know what's happening. Now he's now trying to get back to LP, but LP also has his own problem. LP has its own problem. Now, the Coalition Brothers strategy, the ADC is the chosen platform. Okay, they want to unify against Tinubu. I don't think that's possible anymore, but we'll see. Possibly they end all this, their brouhaha or their issues. The legal challenge threatens to derail this momentum. It's already derailed. And that's it. That's the problem. That's really what is happening right now. I don't know. Let me see if there's any. Again, ADC. Let me see this. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so let's see if there's anything latest. Let me see. Okay. I know Tinubu's weakness. I'm gonna see. There was an interview that Amechi gave, and we'll see how that happens. Let's look at this.
The process towards campaigning to bring up candidates. Leaders have different opinion. I mean, look, some of the things they are aware, of course, of written understanding, which was why I referred to the role, in fact, the critical role played by Chibisi Akande is being underplayed in the whole debate. Because Chibisi Akande was more or less like the magnet that pulled all the leaders together and kept them together. At some point, I mean, if people will open up, President Asuwaju had different view in terms of who should be the candidate of APC. And it was in that context that he even sponsored Senator Waziri Tambuwal to pick up the nomination form for president, until I think the Southwest leaders, which may have been influenced by the position of Chibisi Akande, put pressure on Asuwaju to moderate himself. So a lot of some of those things happen. But I must say, which is the point I keep emphasizing, throughout that period, there was collective leadership.
Exactly. And that is what is not seen in this so-called coalition. Now, I'm not so sure about what he said when he said Tinubu wanted to bring out Tambuwal. I'm not so sure. I mean, he could have said, yeah, we're going to do that. And I remember there was some level of noise around there. And I think that it was just politics. It was just politics. He wanted people to think that, you know, this is not just free for all. Okay, so, but anyways, that's history. Now, what is really happening now was that during that time, people were willing to subjugate or suppress their ambition just so as to get power away from the PDP. That was what happened. Okay, so everyone had to like kind of mellow down a bit and then get the power out and then they move. Right now, you don't even have a rallying voice in this so-called new coalition. Obi is for Obi and his obedient guys. The PDP, we don't even know where those ones are. ADC is for Atiku. So there is no common ground. There is no unity of purpose, unity of direction. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Let's see. So this press conference was given by Kachiku again. Let's see what's happening there.
Religion, tribe, and tongue from our politics. Those who were more schooled in the art of politics laughed at me because based on their experience, only amateurs talk about meritocracy in a nation whose constitution recognizes and promotes the divisions of tribe and tongue. As I address you today on unfolding events within and without my party, the ADC, I am forced to acknowledge that indeed region, religion, tribe, and tongue are and will continue to be the key ingredients in our nation's politics until we do away with the geriatrics who have a chokehold on our country. A few weeks ago, I had wondered a group of mostly old former political office holders were executing a carefully orchestrated agenda to take over the ADC to prosecute Atiku Abubakar's presidential ambition come 2027. I also wonder Peter Obi and other presidential hopefuls in this coalition of geriatrics were being duped as Atiku's men had been carefully positioned to take over the ADC party structure across the country.
Sure.
Today, I have been proven right as former Governor Obi and his people now realize that this coalition
was all a setup.
Is indeed a one-man power grab.
Yeah.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, a man who claims affinity and friendship with the South, does not believe any Southerner deserves to be president of Nigeria. Former Presidents Obasanjo and Jonathan are alive to attest to this uncomfortable truth. In their desperation to hijack the ADC, they deliberately perpetrated fraud, of which I now present evidence to you today.
You can make serious money designing in Framer. Here's how. You can sell premium templates and...
How about that?
I have here before you terms of settlement entered as judgment in the Court of Appeal of Nigeria, holding at Port Harcourt, with appeal number CA-PH 225-2023, between the ADC, Chief Rafonsu, Engineer Eddie Lawrence as appellants, and some of the ADC state chairmen as respondents. What is the fraud, you may ask? To use the ADC, they needed to free it of all legal encumbrances, such as those challenging Rafonsu's fraudulent claim to the chairmanship of the party. And so, they forged signatures of some of the chairmen who were not interested in the sale of the party and presented it to the court as terms of settlement, which the Court of Appeal adopted as judgment. I have here copies of said judgments and international passport copies of the chairmen whose signatures were forged.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, please compare the signature specimens.
Exhibit A.
Our lawyers have dispatched petitions to the appropriate law enforcement agencies on this. As if this was not bad enough, we all watched almost 2 months ago the comedic performance of Rafonsu as he anointed David Mark as chairman of the ADC, and at the same time presented him with a membership card of our party. I again warned Nigerians that this was fraud being perpetrated in broad daylight, as Nwosu had no legal mandate to anoint or appoint a chairman for our party.
Wow.
Sections of the media subsequently addressed David Mark as chairman of the ADC, even though they knew it was constitutionally impossible for this to be so. But again, this is Nigeria, where anything is possible. The same media less than 10 days ago covered and reported a supposed NEC meeting where the same David Mark was again appointed or anointed as chairman of the ADC. So, what are we to believe? When did former Senate President David Mark become the chairman of the ADC? Here is a copy of a letter written to INEC on the 29th of July 2025, wherein the same Ralph Nwosu, who weeks before this had presented David Mark to the world as the new chairman of our party, is still signing his signature as national chairman of the ADC. What a joke. Nigerians are all watching the live coverage of a fraud so monumental and yet so stupid that it beggars belief. These men are following the law to correct their illegalities in full view of Nigerians, INEC, and the media. But nobody's asking questions because we're supposed to be a nation of anything goes. What is the fallout of all these? What is the place of region, religion, and tribe, and even tongue in all of this? Nigerians, please listen to me loud and clear. Atiku Abubakar and a few northern elites who have for decades held political power but did nothing, absolutely nothing, to alleviate the under-education and attendant impoverishment in northern Nigeria for political purposes are at it again. They have armed the weapons of religion, tongue, tribe, and poverty as they convince millions of poor northerners that a Southern President Tinubu hates them and is the cause of their poverty. On a daily basis, they are spreading deliberate falsehoods against not only President Tinubu, but against all potential Southern aspirants like myself for the office of president. Peter Obi has been told in very clear terms that he will never get northern votes as an Igbo man, and as such, he should accept to be Atiku's running mate. In order to weaken the South, they have now drafted in former President Jonathan into the race, who is alleged to be offering Peter Obi the position of coordinating minister of the economy for him to support his ambition. In all this, Nigerians are the losers because meritocracy, which can only thrive when ceteris paribus is in play, has been thrown out of the door. Because of a truth, ceteris paribus doesn't exist in the Nigerian ecosystem. Sadly, I am now here before you championing the cause of a Southern presidency, a notion that before now was totally against all I believed in. Nigeria has indeed happened to me. I urge all Nigerians to resist former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and his co-travelers who don't believe in an equitable Nigeria. We must all come to equity with clean hands and sincerity of purpose. We don't burn our houses because we want to kill rats and cockroaches. Sometimes we just need to make our houses clean so that the rats and cockroaches live on their own. My earnest prayer is that Nigeria will soon work for every one of us. God bless you all. I'll now take questions.
Okay, so that's it, guys. You've heard that. The press conference. The level of impunity is just crazy. And you could say that this guy is now being used by the opposition to thwart ever coalition. Well, that's left for you to judge. But again, if you don't put your house in order, if there are cracks, even from the first get-go, this is what you get.
I'm definitely running again. Secondly, I have no issues with having other people contest within the ADC. After all, in the last primaries, we had almost 14, 15 people in the primaries.
Oh, really?
I am totally against people coming in through the front door or through the back door to hijack the party structures because they don't want a free and fair contest. The ADC, the party which we're trying to build, is a party that believes in meritocracy, that believes in the superiority of ideas, that believes in ideals that will fashion a new Nigeria, something that is totally alien to the people who are trying to hijack our party. If they did indeed believe in what we espouse in the ADC, they will have come in properly. But of course, they want to take over a party without primaries and just have a platform within which to prosecute their ambition. This we stoutly resist in the ADC.
Yeah.
I hope I answered your question.
Welcome to Luxury Casino, Ontario's most trusted online casino. Now with the...
How about that?
For your question,
I can't get the question, but
actually,
anyway.
this question should be for the media, because
what's the question?
2 years ago, before I ran for the elections, the same Nwosu came and said that I was expelled for the party. I represented the party in the elections. You all saw that. The same Nwosu who 2 courts in Nigeria, 2 federal high courts in Nigeria have ruled that he's not the chairman of the party, said to you that he expelled me from the party. Can you build something on nothing? INEC recognized me as the flag bearer of the party. I am still a member of the party. A man who is not chairman of the party, who has no locus, no legal basis, cannot say I've been expelled from the party. It's just like someone saying, I am no longer a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian. Today, yesterday, tomorrow. I'm a member of ADC today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Next question.
Yes.
Claire. Let me be very clear to you guys. There's absolutely nothing, no power that will stop me from contesting in the ADC primaries come next year. Absolutely no power whatsoever.
Okay, we'll see.
The constitution of our party does not preclude me from contesting. I assure you guys that the people who have tried to hijack our party realize that they bought bad markets. Yeah. As I speak to you in different press briefings, you hear them making reference to ADA and other alternatives, that they have a plan B. They do indeed have a plan B because they know that they have me to contend with within the ADC. All they are doing is making our party popular across the country. They are helping us brand our party.
Yeah, like it's just crazy that they didn't even sit down. I mean, and these are the people that want to take over the affairs of this country. These are the people that want to take over the affairs of this country. This is more like guys that the wheel of time or the current situation has actually eluded them. Like they don't have anywhere to place their head. It's just like the story that was told, that you have this evil spirit that left and they don't know where to go, and then they're looking for a place that is really clean that they can just put their head. But anyways, that's it for this one.
We have ADC brand going across all over the country, and we benefit from this. I assure you that in the next elections, that when people see the ADC logo, people recognize the ADC logo and we will benefit from it. And as such, we actually want to prolong this battle as much as possible so that they can help us, they can spend their money to brand our party for us. Next question, please.
Okay, yeah, so that's it. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. Let me see this one. Yeah, so this was the one we just watched. Okay, yeah, I'm not so sure if Jonathan, will be able to coming back into the race. I know that doesn't just make sense. That doesn't just make sense. Let's see. Let's see what's really happening right now. It's been a while. Let me just do a timeline refresh at this point. I only said I will remove subsidy. Yeah. It was a weekend of weddings, though. Yeah, it was a weekend of weddings. Let me see if there's any major stuff going on right now. Okay.
The subsidy will be removed. Is it going to be your priority?
Significant public debates. What would you have done differently? Because I remember you did say that from day one, you say subsidy is gone. What would you have done?
I didn't say from day one. I said I would remove subsidy.
You remove it.
You know, I didn't say from day one.
So if something is good, if an idea or if an approach is good, why don't you want to start with it? This so-called subsidy remover, do you know that Obasanjo also attempted to remove subsidy? The only problem is that Obasanjo actually left the removal to Yaradua. That's a big problem, because when he left it to Yaradua, you know what happened? Yaradua reverted and said, no, I'm going to reduce even the price of gas and increase subsidy. In fact, I would say the foundation for the subsidy scam to go full throttle started with Yaradua. So all those times when Yaradua was not really operating because he was already sick and was already on his way out, the cabal already started that. And it was the same cabal that, when Jonathan took over, they just entrenched the whole thing. And then when Buhari took over, it was like AMAS. It was more like they just carried the whole subsidy scam with a full explosion. And that's crazy.
I've done it.
Okay, so what does it have
Our
to say?
question has to do with the issue of removal of fuel subsidy. Considering that this current administration has said that by June 2023, the subsidy will be removed. Is it going to be your priority in your first 100 days in office? How sustainable is subsidy to the Nigerian economy? Thank you.
Thank you, Dwight.
Well done. But I can assure you, it will go immediately.
Wow. They are fact-checking this guy here, right? This is a serious fact check. Immediately means they won.
Subsidy, I've said it before, is organized crime. And I cannot allow it to stay a day longer.
Whoa. So, yeah. So that is it. He's saying here, I never said that. So how many things is this guy going about talking about now that he doesn't even have an idea?
You did say that from day one, you say subsidy is gone.
And that's what he said.
I've said it before, it's organized crime. And I cannot allow it to stay a day longer.
A day long? Wow. This is what some people say I should, because I'm Igbo. Really? For those believing I will do only one time, or here is your case here. I can see that, the advantage that Peter Obi had at that time was that people were really disgruntled and disheartened with the way Buhari ran things. And then it came in at the tail end of electioneering, right? It came in really at the tail end of electioneering. So he wasn't really put under the spot. The scrutiny was not really, really authentic. Now we've had experience to see him talk. There's been a lot of interviews. People are now digging. people are now digging, and like the opposition, or let me say, the ruling party, because they're still behaving like opposition, to be honest. They're now going back to look at what has happened, what he did during his tenure. And to be honest, there were a lot of good things that Obi did when he was governor, and there were not so good things also that he did, just like every other person. But the problem where people start to have issues with this guy is the fact that he wants to just kind of whitewash everything. He wants to whitewash everything, such that you're seeing tweets. Even there's a tweet from Labour Party that was criticizing Obi as far back as when he was governor. So how do you square that? Peter Obi always lies. Okay, yeah, and that's the thing. That's the old story. Person where they talk for thinking, see how they are coming from him. He's a confused man. We'll see what happens. As far as I'm concerned, I think he should still be in the race. Is his fundamental right. But again, you've got to understand and play this in the right way. In the right way. Let's see. Yeah. Let me see. There was this space between Peter Obi, Amechi, and let me see Amechi's. Amechi was trending over the weekend. Apparently, I listened to some snapshots about the guy, and I was really disappointed. I was really, really disappointed. Let's listen to this.
Well, I've said the current policy on subsidy removal, effects and cost of governance, and what will you do differently if you're president? Thank you. Well, I've said it several times that if whoever had taken over from Buhari would not have done anything differently. The politicians had stolen all the money that you had. In fact, they had sold oil in 5 to 6 years in advance. So anybody who became president, there is no way the person wants to remove oil subsidy. But
Okay. This all happened when he was a minister. This all happened when he was working with the former administration. And we didn't hear a peep from him until towards the end. Because then he started coming out to say that Buhari was not really that tough. And then he started, when it was obvious that Buhari was not going to hand over to him, and when he couldn't get the primaries, the ticket during the primaries, then he started coming out to say some truth. I started talking about how, he turned himself to be some sort of hero, saying Nigerians are the problems of Nigeria because they cannot fight, because they believe politicians, which is one of them. So again, that was this. Let me see. See what's up. It's not a factor. He's a former politician.
I understand that
Doesn't have a call for it. Let me see
both of
this.
you are no longer in talking terms.
No, we're in talking terms. I'm not fighting Ralph Nwosu. He's a good man. I'm fighting the interlopers, the meddlesome interlopers, who came from nowhere. And do you even know what made me to be very angry? Even when they were doing all this, I was just watching. But they went to my state and started destabilizing things.
So apparently this guy is one of the few, like you don't even know much, most of the ADC current office holder. So this guy's one of the few he's an honorable, so he's in the House of Rep. And I just saw him recently on TV. He started lamenting that ADC has been hijacked. Okay. So
if you had given
I'm
the
going to react to his full
be
interview.
okay?
If they give me the structure of my state, and then we arrange everything properly from up, I'll be okay.
So
the coalition that I can support is one that will give President Asiwaju support. You know why?
What?
There
What's
is nobody
talking?
you bring now that will do better than him.
This is an ADC guy. This is an ADC guy, current guy serving in ADC. I don't understand what's happening. Can you see what's happening? This is an ADC guy. And it's saying that, you know what? Even me, that I'm a current member of ADC, I see the situation, I see the reality, and is Tinubu. Now, that's his own opinion. Okay, I don't know what your own opinion is. That's his own opinion.
And again, he has only one term to go. Who are you going to bring to spend one time? They are only telling lies. They will.
Goodluck Jonathan will spend only one time by law. He can't spend more than 2 times.
Jonathan cannot even contest any longer.
Why can't he?
He started back. You know, he, according to law, you cannot be sworn in twice.
No. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. The one that he got sworn in was as a vice going to president. We've litigated this thing. If he can't be sworn in twice, why did he run against Buhari? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's not status bad. It's not. He can run. Now, the question would be, should he run? But for you to say he can't run because he's been president twice and he can't be sworn in twice, that has been litigated, and that's not even that shouldn't even come in because he ran in 2015.
It's a law, so he cannot even dare it. If he wins, the same person who came second will take it from him.
Because that's the person they say if he's on the ballot, he would defeat President Tinubu.
No, even though he's on the ballot, president will defeat him like no man business.
Oh boy. Oh, that's crazy.
Do you know the person that they are contesting with? It's a real politician, no, not like Jonathan, no. There are two different people. See, you're a political guru now, even though you are not a politician.
Well, yeah, but
you know
what
happened in 2003 when Obasanjo deceived them and asked them to support him so that he will support them in AD.
Mm-hmm.
And he used the system to take them off. But this president
that was the last man standing.
Only progressive governor standing.
I think they need to tell some of these young guys on X and in social media, those that were giving birth in 2000, all these people that now have ideas, which is good. I mean, it's good that they get involved in politics. Yeah, they need to understand, you know, where people are coming from. I'm telling you, very, very important. Very, very, very important. Tinubu didn't just appear from nowhere. Yes, you could say, oh, you don't know his mom, you don't know his father, maybe he's not even Nigerian, maybe he's not Yoruba, maybe he's not old, maybe he's not Hausa, we don't even know who he is. He's not a citizen of this country, he's done this, he's done that. I tell you.
He understood this system more than anybody. We are all following his footsteps. People like me can be doing this in my federal constituency because I learned his rope.
It's the same thing that Wike learned that is already messed up with Fubara. Wike was trying to replicate Tinubu's style. But again, you're not Tinubu, right? That was the same thing. That was the same funny politics. Again, I'm not 100% in support of all what Tinubu is doing, or all what he has done in terms of godfatherism and all that. But again, in the context of this country, that has been the only way that he's been able to get himself to be the president today. So you may not like the process, you may not like his style, you may not like all of those, but I'm telling you, that has been the only thing that I can see that has actually worked in terms of someone having no, like just one state, to then becoming the president, and then the whole country now wants to get him off and they don't even know what they're doing. Like this kind of coalition, Tinubu can never bring this kind of ADC coalition, like this coalition that doesn't have any bearing. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't even have directions. They're sloppy. They're not 10 steps ahead. They don't have individual strength. They're just hoping that, okay, fine, they're not to support me. That's how we support him. That's the only thing they have.
Eustace, I work for the people, for the masses. I don't believe in all this calling leader.
So
I believe in the grassroots.
Is Tinubu or nobody for you?
Tinubu or nobody.
Wow. ADC guy. Incumbent ADC guy. Oh my God.
Who decide not to run?
This coalition can be.
How will they decide not to run? What is Shehu saying here?
We can talk to Atiku. We can talk to Obi. We can talk to, who is the next person you are mentioning?
Amechi.
No, Amechi is not a factor.
Amechi Bawo. Amechi Bawo. Amechi is a no. Sorry.
Can't win the state.
What? Really?
Amechi.
He's not a politician.
He's won elections before.
Which election?
Before. Not real now, real politician. We are talking people who can pull crowd. You can talk of Atiku, I agree. You can talk of
Obi,
I agree.
Yeah, Obi. Yeah.
But Amechi is out of the calculation.
He's an hungry man right now. Hungry rich man.
Forget about that one.
Really?
These two people, yes, we can have an agreement. Obi is talking blah, blah, blah. He will do this. It's easy to talk. We can say, okay, because Aswaju has only one term, let's form this coalition to support him. Then
that will not happen.
We will tell him that in 2031, one of you will come out too. And we can then join them.
No, they won't allow that.
It's an agreement.
I can't.
And it will be easier for
Obi doesn't have the mind of his own. It's obedient crowd. They'll be the one shouting. Obi. He is not, to be honest with you, I want Obi to run this. Let's even test all these theories, right? Let's test it. Let's see. Even Atiku, I want him to run too. It's democracy. That you want it or you don't want. Now you could have agreements, okay, but that's fine. But it's democracy. It's democracy. Sorry.
Of them to become president.
So
if what they are doing now.
So if they don't agree with you, you make sure that you deal with them and you not allow things to work. Is that your plan?
See, they are already dealing with me. According to them, I will send them back to where they come from. See, I'm not a weak politician.
What? Who is this guy?
I'm not a weak politician.
But you are underrated.
Who is this guy? Yeah, I think so, because I only heard about him when he said the coalition won't work. But now it's like what Atiku, El-Rufai and his minions have been able to do is just to bring all these people that we don't even know, like Abure, like who really gave a damn who Abure was? Like who gave a damn who Papa was? Until when all these sagas started happening. So these guys, they're just locking in the corner, trying to benefit from whatever. Like ADC now is the national party. Thanks to Atiku, thanks to Obi. Telling you. And the problem is that they're all fighting for the same stuff, because those that are going to go for Tinubu, they're going to go for Tinubu. Okay? So now, this is the opposition, like they're just everywhere, fighting like boxing the wind, and nothing is really happening.
You see, if I'm a weak politician, when you know how
that's funny die.
My state was, I wouldn't have won.
I think it's from Kogi.
I was the only one who won my seat.
But yeah, again, that's a plus for him. I didn't even know that ADC had someone until when all this stuff happened. I didn't even know they had an incumbent. Now you have an incumbent, okay? Atiku and El-Rufai have an incumbent, and you couldn't even recognize the guy. You're fighting with the guy. This is the only guy that I would say de facto leader of ADC by the virtue of him having a seat. Then we have Dumebi Pacheco. Now, Dumebi also was the presidential candidate for ADC. You're fighting with that guy also. Like, the whole thing is just messed up.
They're only playing in Kogi politics.
Yes, but all of us,
in 3 local governments.
But hold on now. Tinubu started from somewhere.
This is local.
And you want to fight
You
people.
start from your
You want to
locality.
fight people who have been playing national politics for.
But he is an incumbent. I know he doesn't have the ammunition to fight Atiku. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying when you talk about ADC today, he is the only person recognized as an office holder. So whatever he says, he has a point. Okay, that he actually has a stake in this old stuff. So how you could bring a coalition, because when you're doing a coalition, the plan of the coalition was to have a vehicle that would go, and then you start poaching current office holders to come and join the coalition. And that was what El Rufai was saying, that people will still join. I don't think anybody's going to join this charade, this coalition that doesn't even have anything to offer.
Yes.
I'm now in national politics now. This is my 7th year in the national now.
Wow.
I'm not a baby again in the national. So if you underrate me, I'll tell you that I'm not a weak politician.
So you will show them.
Pepe.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. See what happens, bro. Let me see. We'll see what happens. I'm not a baby. Not the baby in the national. Pepe them gang. Maybe President Tinubu has offended shit before because of this. He's always pushy, which is negative against President Tinubu. He never says anything good. No, I think Shehu, no, to be honest, I think Shehu is being fair here. To be honest, I think Shehu is being fair. I think Shehu is being fair. I mean, if you're saying Shehu is negative against Tinubu, then what are we going to say about I put it to you, Mr. What's it called again? Hussaini Rufai. I mean, if you're saying Shehu is not being fair, then yeah. But he never says anything despite what is currently. But with this type of honorable is so blunt. Yeah. This is why he's pushing a narrative and always using the phrase like they say. Instead of a journalistic investigation and interrogation, it's not. Again, I mean, I think is a little bit has a good higher notch compared to what's it called again? Or Hussaini. In terms of that, and Shehu was not happy. Love the way this guy responds confident. The National Pepe guy. Why is Shehu inviting politicians to discuss 2027 every week? Yeah, Shehu has to invite people to talk about 2027 every week, even though it shouldn't be, because of the way the opposition has brought this thing to the front of the national discourse. That's it. Nobody was talking about 2027 until when El Rufai started giving all those his interview and saying he was going to send Tinubu back. And Tinubu didn't even respond. But all what we saw was that we started seeing this governor moving to APC, that governor moving to APC, all these people saying, okay, so Ludo said, okay, we're going to support Emilocom, Tinubu. Then we had Akwa Ibom, all the structure being collapsed. The ruling party didn't start this. Okay, it was the opposition, starting by El Rufai, saying he's going to bring a coalition of like minds and they're going to defeat him. He calls Tinubu and his guy urban bandits, and then he's going to send them back. So now, everybody has forgotten about governance. This is what is happening every week. So Shehu is obligated to invite politicians to discuss about 2027 because the opposition is the one bringing everything to bear at this point in time. You see Obi going everywhere. Whenever there's an issue, he goes there, gives them 1 million, gives them 50 million, gives them 20 million. Every time, he's also talking about 2027. So why won't Shehu not talk about 2027? That's crazy. But again, where you get video, it should be on Sean Star YouTube page actually. Yeah, and it's good. Yeah. So again, it is what it is. I hope the Obi or not tweet will stop flying around. So thank you for your boldness, honesty, maturity, and most importantly, dedication to the coalition. Let me see. I'm a cheese. So back to the ADC. Amechi wants to run. Okay. I never imagined I would ever rate Peter Obi above Rotimi Amechi. I always say the former is told more lies. It's clear that Amechi is far ahead of him. Let's listen to this.
In your question, I have a completely different question.
Please do.
Okay, no problem. Easy. Nigerian Central Bank currently uses a mix of high interest rates and currency management to control inflation, but this has also restricted credit and slowed growth. If you are president, would you back the CBN's current tightening stance on or push for looser policy? And specifically, what inflation targets, exchange rate regime, and money supply growth rate would you aim for in your first 2 years? It's a very specific question with specific numbers. Thank you.
Wait for it, guys.
Can you unmute? It seems like you've muted yourself.
You don't seem to get anything right.
Excellency, sir, can you hear us, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I say it's a good question. Unfortunately, I'm not an expert in finance, so I will keep the experts in finance to advise me on this.
What kind of resolution or what kind of answer is that? You are the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and they're asking you this question, and you don't have a clue. I mean, this is a basic economic question. And you don't have a clue of what you're going to do via monetary policy. Now, again, I'm not saying that you should know, in full details what the solution would be, but at least you need to understand how these things work at the top level, like at the general level. So the response he gave here was so off. You need to know how things work. If you don't know how things work, then it becomes a problem. If you look at what's happening currently, the president of the United States of America is having an issue with the Fed, with the Fed president or Fed chairman, and saying that why is interest rate not coming down? Oil prices are down. Inflation is down. Why? You need to have at least a certain level of confidence on almost everything. You must be, number one, you must have knowledge about anything. Like when you talk, you know what you're talking about. So if Amechi is here, a sincere question, what are you going to do differently? How are you going to use the monetary and the fiscal policy to impact, economic growth and development? At least you could just put in some word like, okay, we're going to have fiscal discipline, or when you talk about monetary policy, this is what we're going to do. Inflation is high, so we're going to still actually maintain that, but working on the fiscal side to ensure that, the supply of money is not just all over the place. And as a result of that, we're going to bring, interest rate down. And then you have businesses, going to access credit and all that at a very reasonable and realistic rate. That is what they were expecting from the guy to say. He said he doesn't know anything. What?
Yeah, answer that question.
Can I maybe ask a much simpler question?
Like, let me help you. This guy is saying, like, let me help you. Let me help your case here.
In a different way, not directly finance. In your opinion, do you think the CBN is doing the right thing when it comes to monetary policy, in your opinion?
If they were, the exchange rate wouldn't be as high as it is now.
What? What?
Thank you very much, sir.
The guys are, this is hard worse than whatever Peter Obi could have even come up. Because Peter Obi stands when it comes to this question. Okay, he has a response. And his stance to this question was that he was going to borrow to defend the Naira, which was really, really a retarded response. You can't borrow to defend something, because at the end of the day, when you talk about interest rate parity and inflation, it's going to end up to the same stance. That is, you're going to pay for it one way or the other. So your value, the value of your currency, will eventually go down if you do that. These are the people that wants to hijack power and take over from the current structure that we have.
Thank you very much. That's all my question. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So, please.
Again, I don't know. I don't know. It's just crazy. Yeah, let me listen to this. We're still talking about Amechi.
Financial transaction of the whole thing, selfish intentions, are bent on frustrating, misrepresenting facts and the data, misrepresenting the financial transaction of the whole thing, misrepresenting the unit and the kilowatt hours, misrepresenting the state and the entire objective. The most unfortunate aspect of it is the fact that we have a history of Metro Line. We are getting closer to that. An investor brought their money, we appealed to them without a penny from our own pocket, and some people are bent because they think one way or the other that Lagos State, the welfare of our people and the economy should not enjoy the short-term benefit and long-term benefit coming from them.
One thing people want to know about is how affordable. Because if you talk of
affordability is not the question. How affordable is the electricity? How affordable is the noise level of the multi-unit generating set that is in there that is causing?
So in short, the sound is not clear. In short, it's just talking about his independent power project, which he actually bragged and spoke about. Let's see this one.
Well, I've said it several times that if whoever had taken over from Buhari would not have done anything differently.
So why are you running? Why are you accusing the current presidency of so many layered failure when you know that when you were in power, you failed? You failed totally. Okay? Since His Excellency. No way you will not. I don't know who this one is, but anyways, no comments.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, this question went to viral. I don't know my recognition. Let me see if I can get this. What? I don't even know what this means, but okay. Okay, we'll see. Yeah. Okay. I'll end corruption in Nigeria within 1 month, and if I fail to end corruption within 1 month in government, I will tender my resignation. Says former governor, former minister, former everything. The corruption you couldn't end when you were a governor, when you were a minister, is what you're going to end now. That's quite interesting. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see if I can. Tension as Northeast APC leader endorsed Tinubu for 2027, ignores Shetima. This is an old news. I think I've seen that before. Yeah. Okay, we're still talking about ADC. Let me see if I can. Let's just see this. Yeah. So let me respond to this from. So there's this story that is trending. It had to do with what's it called again? It had to do with.
I'm saving big with TD Insurance for being a claims-free hybrid driving university grad.
Sorry about that.
One, you are not serious. No.
It had to do with Pastor Adeboye. So apparently, this is the period where you have the Holy Ghost convention, right? You have this camp and all that, and Baba made some declaration and called out people to donate certain amount of money. And you had a lot of stuff, but I just want to, I think before I respond to this one, let me just try and see if I can get the whole story of RCCG, because I know this is what is trending right now. See, the Lord said there's somebody, there's massive victory coming your way. Yeah, but this is not okay, no. Of course, this is a camp, yeah, but there is this stuff that was going everywhere. Yeah, this is the video.
As we enlarge dormitories, yes, we have to enlarge our sewage system. Yes. We have a lot of work to do, even before December. It's a long time I made this kind of appeal last, and we can't dodge the issue anymore. How many of you are glad that God is enlarging our coast? Some of my children to step forward. I'm not asking them to come forward to the altar. I'm just saying we're going to need several billions of naira. So I'm asking my children, those of you who can, nobody's forcing you. He has never let me down. Like I was telling you yesterday, when the devil is saying you must remain poor, you have to say no way. It takes a lot of money. Just try to imagine how much it takes to feed this crowd. You can't be poor and do this. And that's why my God will make you very rich. Amen. I've cried to him for billionaires. I know he heard me. I know he answers prayer. Anyone here who would like to be one of the billionaires? And then say your amen so loud. How wonderful will it be? Just 2 or 3 of you can come and say, Daddy, don't make any announcement. How much billion do you need? I will give it to you. Who would like to be one? So shall it be in Jesus' name. But right now, you need at least 10 of my children who can give me 1 billion naira each. And then I need 100 of my children who can give me 100 million naira each. And I need 1,000 of my children who can give me 10 million naira each. And then I need the rest of you who can give me anything you want, from 1 million to 2 to 3 or even 1,000 naira. My God will bless you beyond measure.
So the problem I have with people is that most of these guys that complain about some of this are not even stakeholders. This is not a manipulative request. This is not. You know what they did? What they did was to cut off the preamble to what he just said now, that I need some of my children to donate. They actually cut off the preambles. It came out too late. There are needs. If you own a house or if you own something, you know that there are necessary bills that you need to take care of. It's got this big auditorium and it's got a lot of things to do just to even manage and maintain that place. And that was what, this is a very, very legitimate stuff. It's not saying that if you give, you're going to get this. If you don't give it. Now, maybe there's been some things in the past that has not been said correctly. And is an humble mind is come back to say, okay, fine, I said this, I was wrong. And he moved on. Now, he's saying that they need to maintain this and they need 30 billion naira. And he says, oh, I need people. I need men. People that are able to make that. They are billionaires. Okay, come out and give to this project. And when he says, I need to give to me, he wasn't just saying to himself personally, it was to develop this work that he found himself doing. There is nothing bad in that. For people to then come online and start dragging him on something that they're not a part of and something that they're not going to give a dime on, it's kind of it's kind of insane.
Please decide what you will do. And when you are sending in the checks, write it to RCCG CAM project.
Project, not to EA Adeboye. Write it to the project. This is what we want to do.
RCCG CAM project. Don't write my name there. Write my name on your check.
For those that don't understand, don't give this to me. It is meant for the project. And as you come in, you see every day, every time, it's a big city. The RCC Camp City is a very, very big city. Now, people started dragging. You see, church has no impact in the life of people. How do you know that? Imagine using this billion to set up housing project in Nigeria. The church and its member will benefit. Religion shaking my head. Now, this is a very retarded observation. It depends on what you call impact. So there's a university, there are secondary schools, there are other projects. You don't know that. You don't. The fact that it doesn't have an impact on your life doesn't mean it's not having an impact on some other people's life. Now you can judge, okay, maybe it's not this much impact, maybe it wasn't in the church, but those that if people are not benefiting from it, they're not going to give. Every organization requests for that. When IBB did a book launch, we're giving stuff to the tune of billions. Billions. Okay? Billions. We know how much Obasanjo made when he was doing his Obasanjo Library project. We gave hundreds of millions to that project. So I don't know. Now, Akpororo, who has been lately defending men of God, I think of late he defended Paul Adefarasi, right? Now it's come out to he actually came out to put it in perspective.
Hello, you are stupid.
Hey guys, so wonder shall never end though. Eh?
Let me see.
Like because Pastor E.A. Adeboye.
Let me see this one. I think I have a better stuff in here. Sorry about that. This is it. Let's go back. Okay. Let's see this stuff in here. I think I saw. Okay, yeah, this is better.
What see Pastor Adeboye say his sons, I mean his children, made 10 of them give him 1 billion. Then he called for 100 million. Then I see another video where Bessie post online said, see camp, see where would they sleep for camp. You where you post that video for the camp, said see where you they sleep for camp. One, you are not serious. No, why they say you are not serious? Hello, you are stupid. I repeat, you are a stupid person.
Okay.
You know what also? Wait, when you hear camp, you take a camp in a vacation center. What are you going to do for camp? Is it not to pray? You they go camp to go spread. You want to go live. You want to go live good life for camp. Camp is to pray yourself out. You want to go to the next level. And I check comment because he asked for 1 billion. I see the way some people they curse him. Wait. It means that social media no respect again. People don't care about age. But if they call some of them papa in the verse. He say children or his sons. If you are not one of the sons, shift. If you go camp, they don't force you. They force anybody to go give money. They don't force you to give. Moreover, many of them not get. Many of them not get.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean it's just crazy. Like I don't Yeah, I don't know if people would like social media has turned to something else. Again, I'm not saying when there are obvious cases that you should not criticize, but when people just kind of put stuff into put emotions into stuff, call themselves out on unnecessary stuff, it just doesn't make again, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. There was another one that I'm saying millions at the 3 kilometer by 3 kilometer auditorium. For you to maintain this kind of stuff, 3 kilometers. Do you know what that means? Auditorium. It's a lot of money. And again, you might not really like, at the church. That's you. Then you don't go there. You don't go there. That's that's what it is. That's what it is. But again, that's wow. Wow. Pastor Abraham is thanking God for protecting his fellow ministers who were attacked by bandits in the northern part of Nigeria. The minister to the bandit who have now repented and turned to Christ was driving back home after the Holy Ghost service. While driving down a slope, he heard a loud bang in his car that made the car ram into the car in front of them, damaging both cars. Thankfully, the airbag in his car deployed and prevented him and the person seated beside him from getting injured. So these are just testimonies. Again, yeah, that's it for you. Let me see. Okay. It is what it is. Let's go. Let's see what's happening. There's been before I want to go through this Davido stuff, and I think Davido Chivido, the wedding ceremony. But before I do that, let me just see if I can. Let me see if there's any. There are a lot of tweets on coalition today. Things are happening. With their hand, they killed the synergy of the coalition. This is today. We need to be measured when speaking. What is it talking about? Confused lots. Very confused. What was the context? Maurice Moy. That okay, I'll try and get that. Let's see. Support the coalition and joint ticket of Article B 3 hours ago. Okay, good luck with that. The coalition needs a candidate who has momentum, public appeal, and organic following.
So for the opportunities that lies for the coalition and their plan to remove the current administration that is not underperforming seriously, I think there are a lot of chances, but those chances should be predicated on certain factors and drawn within certain parameters, because you cannot, in this day and time, when election and political dynamics have changed from where people need to stuff ballot box, run away with it and grab it, you need candidates that have momentum, that have public appeal, that have organic depth of support, that to be able to go into the ballot so that you have or go onto the ballot so that you have the opportunity to remove the current government. And you know that if you the kind of information that was put here to say that it must be not what defeated Jonathan in 2015 wasn't just about the fact that the North felt that it was their turn from 2011-12 to build up to 2015, and they felt that it was their turn and that they must try to be part of it. And that would not even see happen without the implosion in the PDP, where you have people from River State, you have people from Imo, people from Kwara like Saraki and Co, who now eventually left the PDP. So the only way to defeat this current government is to have a candidate that will have the capacity to do so. And you can't come and put innuendos and rhetoric outside, so it must be the North. Pursuing generalization statement on general terms without specifically stating what candidate you think should be that. For me, I think that candidate should be Peter Obi. Candidate that that goes around from state to state.
Okay, that's a far one. To be honest with you, that's verified. Nobody, I repeat, nobody's going to give on a platter of gold. Nobody.
That moved from Jigawa to from Abuja to Kafasha, Kafasha to Kaduna, even to Olamaboro in Kogi State. And I've been to several technical institutions, nursing school. We can't have people who are not showing compassion, who are not showing that they have the capacity to be able to know the terrain of this country. Because the problem we have put people in government who have not been able to even know what is the route that link between Ogugu to Enugu. What is that road? People don't.
So it's knowing the road now that would be your condition for being the president of Nigeria.
They travel on shop. But I have seen a candidate. I will not come to do a statement on that I will not mention name of those I think that can win this thing. And if you look at the last election, there was no political entrenchment. There was no political structure. People say, oh, there are 3 people tweeting in one room. There are no governors. There are no senators. But that election, Obi has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he has the public, the people have interest in him. Because it's about the messaging. It's about the acceptance. Because you can be popular and then you go to the ballot and there's no result. But people accept you. That's why your popularity translates into...
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't underrate Peter Obi's popularity, given the current dysfunction in Nigerian system. That doesn't mean that there are reforms that are happening and you have to pay the price. But that being said, yeah, I agree. The best scenario would be an Atiku and an Obi coming together. But now I don't even think that's going to happen.
Vote. So you look at the Southern election that was conducted, despite the fact that APC was in control of the structure in the entire south of our country. If PDP was in control of, within the south, PDP was in control of Delta. In that Delta, they had a vice presidential candidate for the PDP, and Atiku won the vote. Peter Obi won the vote there over 80%. You have the Southern election statistics where Peter Obi had 44.5%, Atiku had 19.4%, Tinubu had 35.5%, and Kwakwaso has 0.48%. You know, where he defeated every candidate that participated in.
Again, I think the dynamics have changed, and you might kind of disagree with me on that front, but we'll see.
The South. And when you come to the North, he had a substantial share. You have to take away the rigging because they are.
You cannot just say, okay. So now let's be sincere with ourselves. They all rigged. Southeast, Southwest, North. They all did the same thing. And the rigging at this time was even measured because of beavers. The Arab question needs to be resolved, but they all did the rigging. So if you're saying that take away the rigging, are you talking about the same in the Southeast?
The people say, oh, he didn't win the election. People are claiming he won the election. We need to go to the IRF and see.
No, but that's the fact that you're bringing IRF, it does not validate your claim. You just made a claim on TV that you cannot even back up. And then you say, oh, let's go to something that is different.
That there are a lot of irregularities, a lot of forged results that were posted there. And if you look at the BBC report, expose done on River State, including Premium Times, you will find out that Peter Obi defeated every other candidate in River State.
Yeah, on that River State, I totally understand and I totally agree with him that I think Peter Obi won Rivers. That's one state that I know that there's an high likelihood that he won. Yeah, and River State has always been a soft spot in Nigerian politics. We all knew that. I mean, in 2015, the REC commissioner was saying that, I wrote this thing under some due pressure. So we're fully aware of that.
These are data that are verifiable that you can reach out to. We can't just sit down and then come.
So if there's this data and if there's this mosaic proof, then how do you go from here? Because again, you're talking about IRF, but IRF is not just all by itself the only way to avoid rigging. What were the alternatives that were done? If they're saying that, it won Lagos, where are he had almost 1 million in Lagos? and they're saying PDP is alluding to that, there was no evidence to prove that. Because even though P2B didn't have, maybe agents in every other place, PDP had. If it was true, PDP would have had that, high and dry.
To station and then try to put up candidates that are not going out there to sell themselves, to go around to connect with Nigerians, to show compassion to people who are going through crisis, like what happened in Makwa, and then we go and elect candidate again.
That's enough for now. Oh my God.
Can't get enough of your song of the moment.
Oh my God. I hate to see this, to be honest. I shall attest to the fact that nothing new was built in Lagos for about 30 years before he became governor. This is false. This is false. But anyways. Okay. On coalition again, let's see.
Why most of the political bandits, the elitist bandits, and the field bandits, Boko Haram, ISWAP, terrorist herdsmen, unknown gunmen, kidnappers, are afraid of P2B becoming the president of Nigeria and going into Aso Rock. Let me tell you, Peter is not like them. And I say,
Peter is not like them. Anyways, okay.
It again to anybody who cares to listen. Peter is not your conventional Nigerian politician. Peter is one leader who understands the compassions, the people-centric, the patriotism that is inculcated, that is required in leadership, just like Desa Mumbakwe, just like Latif Jokonde, just like Michael Obara. He's not like them. And I'll give you examples, reasons why. Let me tell you. You saw the 2025 budget. Allegedly, National Assembly is inserted over 6.9 trillion naira into that budget. You and I know that such criminal insertions will not happen under a P2B presidency or even an Obasanjo presidency. Obasanjo had a running battle with National Assembly there because...
Don't go to Obasanjo. Obasanjo was one of those leaders that corrupted the National Assembly. And that was because of the battle he had for his own second term. The second term, he had to corrupt them so that he could actually have a control of the National Assembly. Because report had it that Atiku actually was in control. And that was one of the things that Atiku wanted to use to take him out, for him not to do the second term. So again,
they inserted things into his budget and he returned it to them without assenting to it. Under a P2B presidency, guys, they've not born the Senate president or the House of Rep people to insert things into that budget.
Again, we're talking as if we don't understand how this thing works. The Peter Obi presidency would not have even had any voting power in the Senate or in the House of Rep. These things are not rocket science. They're not rocket science. The same OB that couldn't do a local government election, now there were court cases, right? When you need to make decisions, when you need to move fast, you need to understand. And again, the 6.9 trillion, are they project related? Are they project related? Now you could say, oh, they're not going to spend it for, but are they project related or just freebies?
Of course, you saw the one that they put allegedly street lights, solar light. It's running into millions. No solar light. Solar light that is sold for 130,000, 200,000 naira. They inserted solar lights running into millions for one solar light. Such madness cannot happen under P2B presidency. You guys are aware. Most of the members of the Senate, those in the Senate, and even those in the executive, we are former governors. There is no former governor in the history of Nigeria that did not railroad and coerced their state assemblies to pass humongous pension retirement fund for them.
Yeah, so we already know about this, but what, like, I don't see anybody saying, oh, I'm traveling to Anambra tomorrow to go and establish myself there. I don't see anyone. So again, what I was gonna say is still the same. This guy has finished the so-called coalition in 8 minutes. Let me see this. Let me see
held
this
one position or the other in Nigeria. Just like the Atiku Abubakar, when he was vice president to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, we know what happened. When Obasanjo was busy reconciling, trying to woo investors to Nigeria, he was busy buying Nigerian assets, national assets to himself. So is he the kind of person you want to give the president that will now change both an NPC, both central bank will be his own. Central Bank of Nigeria will be his own. Is it the likes of Amechi? Amechi that held position in Rivers State as the speaker for 8 years, governor for 8 years, minister for 8 years, and could not do anything for his people. Go to his home in Obima. The place is like from.
So what you're saying now, this position is not a threat.
I say it is dead. They have nothing to tell Nigeria. That is why it is dead on arrival.
Yeah, it's DOA already. Like we can all see that. Coalition anti-law is gone. I mean, maybe something else, right? Maybe something else. With their hand, they killed the synergy. This is the tweet I was looking for. Of the coalition, we need to be measured when speaking. He wasn't there, to be honest with you. It's not a matter of measured. I swear, you should see Amechi speak. He is a disaster. Oh my God, cry me a river. A plus for APC. No, like if you didn't see this coming when this whole coalition thing started, then maybe you're not paying attention. That was obvious. That was really obvious. Okay. The reason that's always been referred to as the coalition rather than the coalition. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, the coalition is gone. The coalition is done. It's fully ended. Okay. All this coalition talk, why do you think Obi has an interest with ADC? Does this mean nobody recorded it? I haven't heard the audio since yesterday. Let me see if it's going to get this for us.
An example of such abuse? Thank you.
Okay, don't.
Two. Then last question is, you mentioned people abusing people online. Can you cite an example of such abuse? Thank you.
Okay, don't let them abuse me too. I will not cite an example until I win primaries. When I win primaries, I will do what I did for Buhari. I set up I employed 150 young men and women and bought 150 computers and gave them 150 tables and chairs. If you abuse Buhari, they should abuse you back. if
some of these people that you fight with, they are trolls. They are being paid to cause all these problems. That's why X, formerly known as Twitter, is just a cesspool of different deranged individuals. Why? Because it's just 2 words, right?
If they want you to answer any question, they should answer the question. So all this abuse now I can take it to, but if I win primaries, you'll be shocked. I won't even do 150. I will do nearly 500 to 1,000 unemployed youths who know how to handle computer and who know how to do what people are doing. Like you said, I'm an old man at 60. So I'll get those young boys and girls who can do it. Then if you abuse me, they will abuse your grandfather, great-grandfather, your father, your mother, and then we'll be going on like that. If you don't want to play the same politics, listen, this is not time to. I'm a gentleman in Nigerian politics, but this time is what the people call Egun Chichanya. Egun Chichanya is, you get a point where they draw my.
Wow. Imagine this guy was a governor, and it was also, what's it called? It was also a minister for 8 years. This is what we have. These are the faces of the coalition. And then you see people online trying to talk. They can't even show their face. And you are trying to drag. Some of them are paid. That's quite crazy. Coalition is over. Coalition is over. Is over. Crazy, man. That's true. That's over, man. It's over. It's over. I've seen this one before. ADC accuses it. This is what they will always say. This is what they will always say. This is what they will always say. When you were forging signatures, you were bribing people to create a faulty foundation. Where was it Tinubu that was helping you? Do maybe Kachiku has nothing to do with Tinubu? Man, it's just crazy. Man, it's just crazy. It's okay. Yeah, let me move over to the fun stuff. Aha! Now they're calling for him to leave the coalition. There will be there if we must destroy structure of criminality. We have to make sure its cells are pulverized to delegates that are cancer in Nigeria political space. Okay. Let's influence him to exit the coalition immediately. Immediately exit the coalition. We can use this precious time to go into an existing small party. Bro, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, right? Yeah, you want to dominate a party in 2025 second half? How? Okay, we'll see what happens, but that's it. Oh, now they know it was a big deal. I said this at that time that it was a very bad, it was a bad move. Okay. Let's see. It's over. It's over. Yeah, there was this rumor that Ambode was actually going to join the coalition and it's going to run on the platform of the ADC as the governor of Lagos State, because, you know, he did only one term at the time. Well, to bust your bubble, he came out to say that's a lie. And I'm only interested in making sure Tinubu gets back into Aso Rock come 2027. While these politicians are destroying Nigeria, this guy is busy giving people water and all that. I'm happy to the entire coalition is over. We're gonna move to another stuff, another topic. Let's go to what's been happening with Davido.
Shop all of the best 2024 RV clearance deals at Camp.
Ouça, MIU.
What did you say?
Ouça, MIU. Ouça,
That's cool. That's cool. This ship shall be forever in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Chivido in Miami. So open this in another tab in case we miss anything, right? Say a word of prayer for Davido and Choma. What are people saying? Let's see. Happy married life to them. God bless their union and them soon. They born another twin. Pray that God will do it for you. Like they don't need prayers. Now you need prayer, Ruth. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. Hmm. Yeah, there was apparently there was also this other wedding going on. I think, yeah. That's good. Hmm.
Photo shoot. Pause, 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 photo shoot. Pause.
That's good. Okay, that's cool.